All right. Well, hey guys, welcome back to the Forever Faithful podcast. I'm Christian Dyer, and joined by me is Dion from 49er Gang podcast. Brandon's supposed to be here with us, but he's having some technical difficulties, and so hopefully he'll join us hopefully sometime in the show. We've been trying to figure it out for the past 30 minutes. So, but otherwise, how are you doing, Dion?
I'm good. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Uh, I'm ready for some football tomorrow. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. I know I went on a little bit of a strike necessarily since Jimmy's the quarterback. I don't necessarily want to watch. But I got a couple of faithful kind of bugging me a little bit, telling me I should watch and support the team.
I'm,
But I'm like,
I'm
yeah, I don't really know.
I
You
mean,
know,
I understand though, because like, especially tomorrow, this game could easily get out of hand and be hard to watch. Like for me, I feel like the only way we're gonna win is if we're just constantly running the ball. I know JJ Watt's not there, but I still think their pass rush is gonna be good, and Jimmy's gonna be, you know, he's gonna be freaking on the ground a lot, and if he's getting hit a lot, he's not really play. He doesn't play very well, so I think if the run game isn't going and we're not able to run a lot, then I don't see how the offense is gonna function, because I still think Arizona's defensive line is gonna be really good.
yeah. With us right now, to be honest with you, man, it's very simple. Run the ball, and to be honest with you, Kyler's going to play. He's
Oh
going to
yeah,
play. I don't see him not playing. His limited mobility does not stop his threat as a thrower. Um, you know, they are minus AJ Green. I do believe D Hop's going to play. He's going to probably be doing what he did before, where he's going to be in and out.
yeah.
He's going to be in on some plays, out on a few other plays. So you probably see a little more Christian Kirk, Andy Isabella, a little more Rondale Moore, stuff like that. But um, the key for us strictly is contain. And on offense, it's run the ball. The biggest issue I have here on offense, honestly, is the fact that we wasted a third round pick on Trey Sermon.
See,
Typically, your first to third round picks usually play, and they usually play a significant amount of time. And Trey Sermon is just getting buried on the depth chart further and further. Hasty came back. You ain't seen him since. Jeff Wilson is possibly gonna be back. So he's gonna get buried even more. I have a
well,
feeling they're probably gonna even drop him down to the damn practice squad at this point.
see, but that's what I don't understand, because I still maintain the fact that we drafted him for Trey Lance in the first place. His style of play fits the way our offense would run with Trey Lance. So the fact that it's Jimmy, maybe it's just that his style of play doesn't fit for Jimmy, which I would think makes a lot of sense too. Um, and that's why he just isn't getting a chance to play. Or because I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just a guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, because obviously with Jimmy, we kind of aren't really able to run between the tackles for one, and that's what Sermon's better at. And Mitchell,
It definitely sucks, man.
he's
It,
going to run
it,
the outside zone reads and stuff, and that's what we're good at with Jimmy, and that's not what
mm-hmm.
Trey's. But Trey's also a zone read running back. So if with Sermon's, he's zoning running back, so he's going to be um, really helpful to Trey Lance, and everything that goes with the probably the run pass option and whatnot. So I think that maybe him not playing is because he was drafted for Trey Lance in the first place, and we wasted a high
Yeah.
round draft pick on him because we didn't want to not be able to have him when Trey Lance does come to play. That's what I think, because I think Mitchell's a great running back, and I'm glad we have him. But I think if we're going to be running, an offense designed to make, to win and to be really good for Trey Lance, that's going to be Trey Sermon, not Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, and I definitely, what I'm saying, I definitely want to see what Trey Sermon has to offer. Just like I said, because we have the issue of him being drafted so high and him being wasted. Same thing with Aaron Banks. Another second round pick that's just basically rotting on the sidelines. So,
That one I don't understand at all. I have no
yeah,
explanation for that one.
no one has any explanation for that. And then the big issue, honestly, for me is we're at home and we don't win at home. We haven't won
Yeah,
at home in over a year. So that's what scares the shit out of me. And to
and
be honest with
a
you,
lot of it's been from coaching too for not winning at home. So it's
very much so. To be honest with you, I'll keep it a buck. If we lose to a Colt McCoy led Cardinals team, do you understand what this fan base is going to do? Like, you got to think
Jesus.
about it. You already don't give them the option to be able to win at home. And then on top of that, you might even lose to Colt McCoy,
Oh, I know,
who
right?
ain't started a game since I believe he was with the Redskins. So
Um,
you never know,
yeah.
man.
I mean, I don't understand it at all. I really don't get it.
Not by any stretch of the imagination, my brother. Nope, not at all. It's definitely frustrating, man. Hopefully we can get this stuff on board and get on top of it and what I'm saying, at least get the run game rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I think in order to win, we have to run a lot. We have to come up with some like designed like trickery runs and stuff like that. We need to run, be able to run in between the tackles a little bit more. Which if Jeff Wilson's there, that means we're going to be should be able to run between the tackles because I mean maybe it's um, you know Jimmy's fault because they stacked the box and Mitchell can't run in between the tackles, but he has not run between the tackles much, and we haven't been able to. And I don't know whose fault that is, but um, you know, maybe with Jeff Wilson coming back, that's what he's good at anyway. But that's the thing is that's what Trey Lance is supposed to be good at, or not Trey Lance, but Trey Sermon's supposed to be good at, and we're not doing it at all. And I'm like, well, it's all nice and freaking great that we can run on the outside and get a lot of yards, but I'd like to be able to run between the tackles a little bit here and there too.
Yeah, and the thing is Trey Summer was running very well between the tackles. There was no issues. So it's the simple concept of thunder and lightning. Like they used to have, for Christ's sakes, Brandon Jacobs and oh, for the life of me, I cannot remember the other dude's name. But they were with the Giants. They used to call themselves like Thunder and Lightning. It was like Brandon Jacobs was your bruiser, your banger, and the other dude was the home run hitter. He was fast.
It was
And that's what we
Bradshaw.
had. Bradshaw. There you go.
Bradshaw. Yep.
Yeah. So you got to think about it. That's the same concept with Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon is your banger. If you're on the goal line, put Trey Sermon in. If you're
Exactly.
if you're 20, 30 yards out, keep running with Elijah Mitchell. He'll most likely break one, and he has the speed to be able to get home.
Yeah.
So
But
you think about that.
he's also not going to break. Elijah Mitchell's not going to break arm tackles. He's not. He's not even built to run in between the tackles in the first place. Just look at
Exactly. That much is very
he's a
true.
great runner and he's fast, but he's not built to run in between the tackles.
That's the whole point of it.
So that's what I'm saying. And like, it's nice that Jeff Wilson's coming back, but Jeff Wilson's not 100%. And we wouldn't even have to worry about him coming back if they would just give the ball to Sermon. And obviously, there's something there because in order for things that had to change for Ayuk, apparently he had to get in a screaming match with Kyle, which.
Well, look, man.
I know Ayuk's taken a big heat on that, but I guarantee you he probably had to do it to wake Kyle the fuck up because Kyle's got his head up his ass. So
I will say this as a player, you don't take kindly to people publicly shaming you. No one takes kindly to that. I got John Lynch on my ass. I got Jimmy Garoppolo talking crap when he has no business saying anything about me. I've got Kyle Shanahan talking about me. I've got Matt Mayoko talking about me. I got Cam Newton. I got all of these people talking about me. So I got to run up on you a little bit, man. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And that's well deserved. If that's me and I'm Brandon Ayuk, I got to look at it. Hey, man, look, I'm going to need you to shut your mouth, bro. I'm open. Tell your quarterback to throw me the ball. How about you get that figured out before you go out there slandering my name and throwing me under the bus and making it seem like I'm trash when it's obviously the person that's throwing the ball. I can't throw the ball to myself.
See, I bet you they got in a screaming match because I bet you Ayuk probably got sick and tired of being the scapegoat for Kyle and Jimmy. Oh, Kyle's fucking calling shitty games and not, being a good head coach. Oh, it's Brandon Ayuk's fault. He ain't doing what he's supposed to do. Oh, he's not getting the ball and stuff in the game. And even though he's, open and stuff, well, that's Jimmy's fault. But we're going to blame Ayuk.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you can't keep doing that.
Jimmy showed us last week that it's not Ayuk's fault. against the Bears. I mean,
This
Jesus Christ. Ayuk was so wide open on that freaking out route. And I don't even know if he was an out route. I think he was coming across the field and was wide open, though, on a freaking – obviously, it's outside the number, so how often can you expect Jimmy to make that throw? But Jimmy makes the throw, and it's out of bounds and not even, to a point where freaking Ayuk can make a play on it. And when I watch that play, and I'm like, okay, well, where's the defender? So Jimmy couldn't get the ball in there. And there's not anybody freaking anywhere near Ayuk.
so
So
I'll
he
tell you
must
this.
have burned the linebacker or corner or safety, whoever was covering him. He was wide the fuck open at the on the corner, but Jimmy can't make the throw and he throws it out of bounds.
Yeah,
That's not Ayuk's fault.
Yeah, so shout out to our guys at the Red and Gold podcast, 49ers Hive. So Zach and Matt were talking about this, and Zach doesn't like to put a lot of movement behind some of the things that are said. I'm going to take this and run with it. It was said basically that when he was on the side, when Kyle was on the sideline with the Bears, he basically told Jimmy, "This is simple shit. Can you run it or not?" Like, come on, man. This is way too simplified. You can't keep sitting up here, making me look stupid while you out here screwing up left and right. You either going to run these players, I'm going to put the kid in here. Like, get it together, man.
I wonder
I
if that
think
was
that
true.
actually happened, and I think that at some point Kyle's starting to get frustrated. He's like, "Look, man, I'm giving you as many passes as I can. I'm putting you out here. You know what I'm saying? I keep riding with you. I don't publicly shame you. I don't do anything to make to hurt your feelings outside of draft this young kid. You got to go out there and still earn your paycheck, man. And if you're not going to earn your paycheck, this kid's going to earn his, and you're going to wind up sitting your ass on the bench. And I'm not going to give a shit because I'm not going to look bad for you. So to me, I honestly feel like that happened, and I hope that it did, because at some point you gotta hold him accountable. Like, so
How can you hold him accountable when he can't even hold himself accountable? That's the problem.
Because that's all coaching. To be honest with you, that's all coaching. And then at the same time, that needs to be that's a influential thing from the people around you. Like, do you have a bunch of yes men hanging out with you, telling you ain't doing nothing wrong? Because in life, you need that person that's gonna keep it 100 with you and tell you when you're wrong or you're right. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends, Aaron. If I call him and I give him a scenario, he'll tell me if I'm wrong. He won't just give me a yes answer all the time. And Jimmy's got to have that.
But that's the thing is, in the press conferences, Debo seems irritated. And that's the thing is, I don't know if he's calling Jimmy out, because you can see he's clearly irritated, even though he's been playing great. He's like, well, I'm bailing him out and taking these big hits and this and that. And then obviously Brandon Ayuk's freaking body language on the sideline tells you he's sick and tired of Jimmy's shit. And he might be the only one that legitimately is calling his ass out.
Because I'll tell you right now, like, you're not going to have other people. The other people won't do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, but you notice he's like sitting away from everybody on the sideline, not sitting with the offense. He's he's sitting with Kyle. A lot of time, when you notice he's away, but he's near Kyle. He's trying to figure out offensive shit with Kyle, and I think maybe that's part of the reason he's staying away from the offense. But he's probably frustrated because he's obviously
anybody would be. Anybody would be.
Not really playing terribly, even though he's gotten the crap since the beginning of the season. He's not getting a lot of balls thrown his way because Jimmy looks for Debo, and if he can't immediately get the ball to Debo, then no, we just hope we can complete the damn pass. So that's part of it. And then Jimmy just goes and fucking makes excuses on the podium and shit, and then it all goes to fucking Ayuk, and it's like obviously he's freaking sick and tired of it. It's probably what the screaming match was for.
My thing is, you can't blame somebody who wasn't targeted. I didn't drop any balls. I didn't catch any balls. So I was just on the field. It's not my fault y'all used me as a decoy. There's nothing I can do about that. He can't throw the ball to himself. He can't get any more open than he is. And there's just certain times where you just have to make the plays. And at the end of the day, it comes down to Jimmy making plays. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't make plays, though. He just makes what Kyle schemes up for him. That's what people don't understand.
And that's the one thing that nobody understands, man. We all are sitting here baffled and confused. I know that the guy Damon Bruce screwed up when he said that he would rather lose games with Trey than win with Jimmy. I think what he meant was, I would rather watch Trey develop than to continue to watch Jimmy fail. Because nobody wants to lose a game. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to lose any games at all, but you got to hope and pray that this dude is making it happen.
it's it's this simple. Jimmy's making mistakes that we would expect the rookie to make. So why not just sit through and deal with the mistakes the rookie makes
Mm-hmm.
instead of sitting there having to sit watching the 8-year vet make those same mistakes? It's like it's a lot easier to watch and not be so frustrated when you're watching a
Yeah.
rookie make those mistakes and go, well, he's a rookie. He's going to make those mistakes at the growing pains. But when your 8-year vet does the same shit, it's way more infuriating because
Oh yeah,
it's
man.
two different things.
And your
So
fan base is pissed off. Like you
it's
can't. I mean, when you hear, if you're a head coach and you hear boos from your crowd, that affects you. No matter how much they say that, like when last year, um, when they said that it didn't matter if fans were there or not, everybody who said that was lying, and I'll tell you why. You feed off of the energy the fans give you. When you score a touchdown and that stadium goes insane, you love it. You know what I mean? Was you about to go to OBJ's editor and drop vid? Oh yeah. Oh man, no, please, man, don't do that, IU, because that would be a
don't
hour
don't
long video of how
don't
many
act
times
like
you were standing wide open, butt naked, selling cookies,
yeah.
and he was
He
just struggling.
he's not the kind of guy that OBJ is anyway. Obviously, OBJ wants the ball, but we don't need to get into that. This isn't the Browns freaking podcast.
Well, no. Here's the thing: a lot of people are wanting us to go after OBJ. Number one, I just saw something that said we don't even have a waiver request, so we can't even
I
put
don't
in a
want him.
claim form.
I
And
don't
here's
want him in the locker room.
okay. Put it like this. I said this on my show, and I'll say it again. The only way OBJ comes in here is if it is explained to him how the system works. The system typically with a competent quarterback is developed for the open man, not for just you. It's developed for whoever is open. Now, unfortunately, with Jimmy in here, it's anybody over the middle and in the flat.
So,
That's who's open.
but
Because OBJ is running actual crisp routes. He's doing other things. And then at the same time, yes, I agree with you. It's hard to want him in here because of the whole kind of diva-ish mentality. But I see a player who's saying, my value and my stock is dropping because you're just not even attempting to come my way.
but
I'm frustrated with that.
I don't think but I don't think that's the case. I think you with what you said a minute ago about how he has to come in and be with the system. You just answered our question yourself by saying that because the reason the Browns don't do good, obviously the Browns offense isn't as good with OBJ's in there. You know why? Because Baker felt he had to freaking force the ball to OBJ whether he's open or not. And their offense didn't run as smoothly because what is the Browns offense? Get the ball to the open guy. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, throw the ball to the open guy. Well, when
Mm-hmm.
you're doing that, and then Baker goes, oh well, I got to force it to OBJ because he's going to go whine and cry to everybody and act like a little bitch. Then their offense doesn't work correctly. What happened when OBJ goes down? All of a sudden, the Browns' offense is 10 times better because what is Baker not doing? Forcing the ball. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care what anybody says about OBJ being fucking open. No,
Yeah, no.
OBJ fucking
When he's not in the
it has
game,
nothing to
they're
do with
better.
that. They're better when he's not in the game because their quarterback's not forcing his fucking bitch ass the ball. Like
That's true.
he's a whiny bitch. That's why, like I said in the chat, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you remembered, I was like, yeah, if OBJ's gonna come here, then freaking then Jerry Rice is gonna have to go and show him how to, how to go in there and freaking, you know, be an asshole
Just be a professional, man.
be
Just
an
being
asshole without
professional.
being while being a professional. Because
Yeah,
that's the one thing Jerry Rice did so good. Because if you ask anybody in Jerry Rice when it came to football, he's a freaking prick. But he did it
yeah, yeah,
professionally.
yeah. Because
He didn't
he
kiss it.
wants to win.
Well, it's a perfect example. There's a time and a place for it, and to act certain way. It's like when they're in the Super Bowl in '94, the end of the '94 season in '95, and Dion's going out and partying before the game. Jerry got all on his ass. That's a big thing that happened. Like Jerry Rice got all over Deion Sanders for freaking, flashing this and going out and partying and shit when they're supposed to be worried about the game.
Yeah, man, you
So
got to be real. You got to be locked in. And the one thing is, like, when you're drafting players or you're talking to players, you have to know that these guys eat, sleep, and breathe football, man. Like it's their
yeah,
life. It's what they're dedicated to, and it's truthfully what they want to do, man.
it's
Flip it to
the
the
thing is these diva receivers don't know how to be have to have a good middle because you can be a little bit of a diva receiver, but you have to know also how to be a
There's a balance.
professional.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
a
balance,
balance.
and not many receivers have really learned that balance. And
It's very
some
hard to maintain.
some receivers are good enough that how they act and how they are doesn't matter. Terrell Owens, for example,
Mm-hmm.
his talent was so good it didn't matter what he did. He could act like a diva and not act super professional, but he still was going to go out there and show out.
Mm-hmm.
Not many receivers can do that. So that's the thing, though, is OBJ already. I think he's overrated. His whole career has still been based off one catch, and what has he done since? Like we took one
Yeah, he ain't
catch,
that much of nothing.
and acted like he was like the greatest receiver, and it's like no, he's not. There's a lot of better receivers. Jarvis Landry's a better receiver than OBJ.
Well, he's got way surer hands, man. I've never seen Landry
Well, he's a better route runner.
doesn't drop balls,
He's a
and
better route runner.
no, I wouldn't say OBJ doesn't run routes. He does, but I think the thing is I would say Landry's route tree is extended, versus OBJ's.
OBJ might be good if you're going to throw it to him a fade route in the end zone in the red zone, and it's a red zone play and you throw him a fade route, or if you throw him him in the safety by himself and you throw him go up and get the ball, but you're not going to be throwing him like, oh, run this route, get open. No, he needs, he can run routes, but he hasn't done anything to show me like he's this great player. And I see like Niner fans on Twitter like, oh my God, I want him so bad and blah, blah, blah. Why?
You got to remember, man, those are people seeing a big name and just automatically going, we got to go get him, because here's the reason why our fan base does this is because they watch other teams in our division do it. They watch the Rams figure out a way to get Von Miller. They watch the Cardinals figure out a way to do whatever they do.
Yeah, but they're getting players that have the resume.
Mm-hmm.
OBJ doesn't have a resume. It's all talk.
He's got enough of a resume to make people think he's that great. I'm not falling in line with everyone else. I'm just telling you that's what they're thinking, because that's the main issue that everybody has. But either way, man, enough of the OBJ. We'll
let me just say this. We freaking like go crazy over a guy that his notoriety is from one catch and fighting the kicking net.
And failing and then proposing to it. Yeah.
I don't think he's that great, and I'm sorry, but his skill, his ability isn't good enough to overcome his diva status. So I don't want him anywhere near the team.
So on the defensive side of the ball, our back end is going to be looking a lot different. It's going to be a Talanoa Hufanga and Tavon Wilson show. Tavon Wilson played great during the preseason. He was talked about. He was lauded very well during the preseason. As far as when Tart was out, and Talanoa Hufanga, everybody seems to love this kid. I know I do. And he's going to be starting for us, and I think he's going to run around and make some plays, man.
Dude,
I see Talanoa as a safety hybrid linebacker and safety. This young kid, man, has an immense amount of talent, and plus at the same time, I trust people who hang out with dudes who are great. This guy hangs out with Troy Polamalu.
That's who they're comparing him to.
And here's the thing. If there's one thing that you have to understand, cultures tend to lean toward their own culture. For instance, look at wrestling. The Rock. His grandfather was a wrestler, High Chief Peter Maivia. His father was a wrestler, Rocky Johnson. He becomes a wrestler. Rikishi comes in. The Wild Samoans, the Usos, Roman Reigns. Like, there's a lineage there that tells you these dudes wrestle. It's what they do. They're good at it. And there's no one else that's going to be better than them, because they've got a long list of people waiting to come down the pike to be able to do what they do. When it comes to Hufanga, you have to remember the Samoan people stick together. So why wouldn't you take that young Samoan and put him out there and say, look, man, come on, hang out with me, man. Let me go ahead and make sure we teach you the ropes, get you right. It's only fair. I mean, hell, look at the Bosas. Don't get me wrong. Joey and Nick are probably the best out of their family, but it's a lineage.
Their dad played
family.
professional football too.
Yeah. So you see that, and that starts to become the norm. Look at Asante Samuel Jr., young kid balling. He
Better than his
looked
dad
damn good.
already.
You know what I'm saying? And I like me a ball hawk, and his daddy was a ball hawk. So
Yeah.
I think Hufanga and Wilson are going to be fine back there. I don't have no
So
worries about the safety position at all.
the reason I like Afanga so much is, and I don't have a problem with people comparing him to Polamalu, is because he had his motor is so
Oh yeah,
similar. The way that and so fluidly too. The way that Polamalu could go sideline to sideline, control that whole backfield, and that's how Hufanga looks. Like he's just that's so powerful, like heavy motor, just sideline to sideline everywhere, always near the ball. He just kind of seems to have that knack. Obviously, he's not Polamalu. Polamalu is a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest defensive backs of all time. But
yeah.
he has a lot of similarities that make you like really excited.
Outside
Just
of the
his
hair.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Outside
And
of there.
it's just he's I'm really excited. I think he was one of the steals of the draft. Um, but you really can't go wrong when you think about getting a DB out of from USC.
Yeah, I mean
They've
DBs
had
out of
so many great
USC.
DBs out of USC.
Yeah, they mostly were the only other one we drafted that didn't work out was Taylor Mays. We
Yeah,
don't
that's
like to
true.
forget that pick. He didn't pan out. And a lot of the reason Taylor Mays didn't work out because he didn't know how to tackle. Taylor
Mm-mm.
Mays gotten so used to hitting people and them falling that he would never wrap up. And I watched it because a lot of his college tape, that's what he was doing. He was hitting so hard that people just couldn't. It's like, you up here with the big boys, man. That hitting don't mean nothing. It bounce off your ass like a ping pong ball and go right into the end zone. So
Problem
it
with
is what
Taylor
it
Mays
is.
is he thought he was Ronnie Lott, but not quite.
I just knew we didn't hit that hard. So what do you think about the D line going into this game, man? What do we have on tap for our
I-
defensive line?
it's it's
Because
it's
of
hard to
course we have no DJ Jones and we don't have any Javon Kinlaw.
it's hard to say because if if we have um, Kyler Murray playing, he's going to be very immobile and we'll be able to keep him in the pocket. Um, so the thing is if Murray does play, I think Bosa could have possibly 3 sacks, but other than that, I don't know because I don't trust anybody else rushing the passer other than Bosa. Um,
Seven
you know,
sacks on the season.
yeah.
And unlike
So
unlike Ch- unlike Chandler Jones, he didn't stack all those up in one game and then disappear for the rest of the season.
yeah, and that's the
That
thing is
young man has been balling.
Bosa's the only one I trust, and like that's kind of the thing though. Is like I don't really know, the other side, so I don't really know what's going to happen with this D line. It's going to be interesting to see with you kind of a beat up D line, and we only have one guy that we can trust on it. Um, I think we'll just have
Yeah.
to. I think with this one, with if Kyler Murray plays, we're gonna have to start calling some more blitzes. Like you're gonna have to be sending Alshire because he'll get to him. I think if we could, if we but we I think we need to dial up more blitzes if Murray plays because he's not gonna be able to run around a lot on that ankle. He's gonna try to stay
Yeah.
stationary.
And to be honest with you, now that you say dial up more blitzes, send Hufanga.
Yeah, that's true.
Send him. He will be the perfect blitzer because we every now and then we cheat Jimmy Ward up. And Jimmy
Mhm.
Ward typically is the guy that will do our safety blitzes. But if you cheat Hufanga up and get him in there, I feel like he's going to be better at not over pursuing Kyler Murray. And then with him being not as mobile with that ankle injury, that's going to be the beautiful situation for us because we go ahead and we turn it into, what I'm saying, us possibly being able to get a sack. Um, as far as the defensive backs, they cleaned it up a lot in the last game. As far as the PIs, that was a fantastic job. What I will say is this is an offense-driven league, so yes, they want to see more scoring, so they will go ahead and provide them pass interferences that are sometimes some of the most ticky-tack fouls you can think of. Do you believe that continues?
I see. I don't know. I think regardless of who's the quarterback for them, I think it probably. I have a feeling it's going to continue because I feel like their offensive game plans. I'm like, well, if we play Kyler, we got to throw it up. We just got to throw it up with our good receivers and hope that they either catch it or we get a PI. And the fact that if they have McCoy, then they're going to hope for the same thing because they aren't going to expect McCoy to move the offense up and down the field. So they're going to have to get chunk plays. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of the pass interference calls and a lot of deep balls. But the one thing I wonder too is if, especially because I thought for 100% that Kyler was going to play regardless. What kind of defense do we run in general with a immobile Kyler Murray because that ankle, and then probably looking to getting the ball out a lot quicker than normal because Kyler likes to hold on to the ball and then wait for routes to develop and get the ball out. He doesn't like to throw it as quick and as often. He likes to throw it down the field a lot and then let guys kind of get open and find the zones while he's running around and making things happen. And that's a big part of their offense. So taking that away, and they're going to be going, trying to run shorter like routes and throws. Are we going to run more of a zone defense, which I feel like we tend to do more often than not anyway? Or are we going to actually try and step up and play man? Because I think if we play a little bit more man, we can negate some of the deep throws and some of the penalties in the first place. Because we're going to not, I think that just playing man alone is going to take away a lot of the under throws too, because, they're going to be trying to get it out quick. And if Kyler can't run a lot, then, I think even if we can't get sacks, we can at least hopefully get a lot of pressures. And so I think man would help us more, help us with that a little bit more than running a zone. I think even with a bad ankle, Kyler Murray can eat up our zone defense.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested to see how we play them defensively if Kyler is in there. I guess I think with their backup quarterback, their McCoy, I think we can just kind of do whatever. Obviously, because I don't think their offense is going to run as good with him in there. But even an injured Kyler, still you have to worry just because of the fact you don't know which defense we're going to run and what they're going to do with Kyler, because they also might be able to just run the ball too, because both our guys that are supposed to be the big guys and stop the run up the middle are injured. So it's going to be interesting to see. I would expect this game to be more low scoring on both sides because I would be surprised if we
another
see
17-10.
Well, yeah, I just don't see a shootout. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Obviously Jimmy can barely even get in a shootout to begin with, but I think we're going to have to run the ball. I think they're going to have to run the ball with their injury at quarterback. So I'm just going to kind of have to wait and really pay attention in the first quarter to kind of see how things are going, and then I'll maybe get an idea of how the game's going to go. I still, I don't know how many other people, but I still don't see us winning.
Yeah, so we got a question here from Brandon. What do we think about our new defensive player that we got from Houston? I have no idea how to say his last name, so I'm not going to try that. What I think, honestly, about him is I've seen some tape, and I've seen that he's, looked great at pass rushing, but that tape was from 2019. And I've seen a little bit of tape from this year. So it's a wait and see approach with me. I'm not going to judge people off what they did on a different team because that's a different team, a different scheme, and it's not what we do. So it's a wait and see approach for me. I do like what I saw as far as a couple of sacks, but I don't really have an extensive idea of who this guy is. So hopefully, maybe if he gets a couple of snaps here and there in this game, he can give us an idea of what he can do. Because at the same time, a lot of people say, well, he's graded at he's one of PFF's highest graded rushers at pressures. I don't care about pressures. We get enough pressure on the quarterback as it is. I need sacks. I need the pressures to lead to sacks. And you can't just tell me, well, he's graded pressures. No one cares about pressures. Pressures don't turn into sacks. It don't mean shit.
Here's what we have to hope, though, is that because he's now playing on the opposite side of Bosa, that those pressures correlate to sacks. Exactly. Because Ebukam doesn't have the pressures to even show while playing with Bosa. So what we can hope for, and maybe what we were hoping for with trading for him, is his pressures and being one of the best at getting pressures this season so far can correlate to some more sacks with the fact that Nick Bosa's on the other side of the line.
Yeah.
causing trouble too. So
Yes, sir.
I actually forgot about him when we mentioned the line. I didn't even think about it. I don't know if he's playing though. I would honestly expect him to play a little bit because with, you know, um, with D4 going back to IR and whatnot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then, only we have Ebucam and stuff, but I would expect to see him do it. It's not like he needs a ton of practice in the defense. His job is to go and get the quarterback. So I don't see why he wouldn't play. But if
Yeah.
he does play, it'll be exciting to see because maybe his pressures will start turning into sacks because he's, playing with another great rusher. Because sometimes these guys that are just on the edge when it comes to getting a lot of pressures, but they're not getting the sacks to show for it. They just need that little bit of a
Just have that slight bit
little
of
bit of
help
that
to
little
allow
bit of
them to
help
get
that
there.
it
Yeah.
and it put especially being a young guy, it pushes them over the edge to where you start seeing the production. Uh, you know, so that hopefully I wouldn't be surprised if that was the front office thinking in the first place. Is well, this guy gets a lot of pressures. You put him on the other side of Bosa. Bosa takes a double team. Bosa takes a lot of attention. That's when the guy who's already really good at getting up in the quarterback's face. There's not going to be as much um, stuff going on around him as there might have been in Houston if he was their best pass rusher. So he's going to have less of a wall to break through to get to the quarterback. So maybe that makes the difference. Um, I'm just gonna have to wait and see. I kind of hope he does play on Sunday because if he does, I really want to pay attention to what he's doing.
I
It'll
do too,
be
man.
it'll be a
So
fun game to watch inside the game. I would say.
yes, sir. So for me, I have predicted us to lose this game because we're at home and we just don't win at home. I don't have a score prediction. I just don't see us pulling off this W, especially if Kyler and D Hop are playing. So I have us unfortunately losing. I don't like to say that we lose. I usually try to bet on this every week, but we're at home. Jimmy's still the starter. Like this just is a powder keg for crap. So what do you think here?
I don't have us winning either. I have us losing 24-14. Um,
Okay. By
I
10. Okay, yeah, about we lost by 7 last time. We lose by 10 this time. Okay.
and that's assuming Kyler plays and still makes plays happen because he's really tough.
At
Uh,
the end of the day, if Kyler plays and we lose, this doesn't look as bad because you
that's
expect it. If Colt
that's
McCoy wins and beats the 49ers, I can guarantee you Kyle is going to have no choice but to bench Jimmy Garoppolo because I'm going to tell you right now, we're at home 2 games in a row. We're at home here, and then we got to play the Rams on Sunday night. And you know what? And
Monday
the
night.
game on Monday night, I apologize. And the game in LA in January, I'm going to that. I'm going to SoFi, baby. I'll tell you this: I may not like the Rams, and I may not really. I only mess with the Chargers because of one of my best friends, Aaron. But I'll
Mhm.
tell you this: that is a beautiful stadium.
Oh, I
It
bet.
is gorgeous. I did a virtual tour before they opened the joint in that joint. I'm definitely going to that game. And the cool thing is I get to drop my wife off at her godparents' house because she watches football, but she don't watch it like that.
Hmm.
I get to go and just have fun and get drunk and be able to
That's pretty
relax.
sweet, dude. That'll be pretty
Super
sweet.
sweet, man. But
I
yeah,
mean,
man, I have us losing, unfortunately.
I
I don't want to say that we lose, but I bet against us last week and we won. So
mhm.
hopefully, me betting against us, we win again. And if that's the case, I'm betting against us every week so we can
Yeah,
get some W's.
dude. Honestly, the thing is I could see us winning, but I obviously like I said earlier, there's things that have to work out for us to win. The only thing that worries me, like how because you're saying that we have no choice but to bench Jimmy if we lose. They have an out for that too, though. Like I said earlier, because I have a feeling Jimmy's going to be on his ass a lot, and then they're going to not blame Jimmy um, for the fact that he didn't play well because he was getting hit a lot because of the defensive line for Arizona. So I think um, it's kind of interesting because if we don't win and Jimmy doesn't play good, but he's getting hit a lot and he's not comfortable in the pocket, that's going to be a scapegoat. Like, oh well, it's not Jimmy's fault. He was getting hit all day. So there's that, and then I think in order for us to win, Kyle's going to have to win this with coaching, and that's by coaching up the run game. That's where I'm at. Where if we win, it's because Kyle and his ability to, call the right plays and continue to run the ball down their throat is what's going to win us the game. And that's why, when we were first started talking about this game, I was like, well, if Lance plays, I don't see any reason we wouldn't win this time, especially with an injured Kyler. And I would assume if he did play this time, that Kyle would actually try to help him win, unlike he did last time. So I think, and the reason I think that Lance gives us a better chance is because of the pass rush that Arizona has. You're going to get 3, 4, 5 extra first downs in this game with Lance in there. And those 3 to 5 extra first downs add up and makes a difference in the game. And Jimmy's not going to get those. Jimmy barely gets first downs on, extends plays on third down, for instance, anyways, and then, the thing is, Arizona being terrible against the run, it's still scary because with Jimmy in there, they can sell out the run 100%. They can completely sell out the run. And if they do, then, and we have to pass, well, what do you do? I mean, Jimmy's not going to throw outside the numbers. He can't. And then what are you going to throw it deep a couple times and hope it works? I'm not hearing you, bro. Are you talking?
A sec.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Yeah, I was just making sure I'm checking in with my brother, man.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm over here with the fam, bro. I love my in-laws. Shit. I'm one of those very few people that has great in-laws. My brother-in-law is the best, man.
That's cool.
See him here in the background talking shit. Find out, man. I love that dude, man. That's my brother Jimmy, man. But I think this is what I'm gonna tell you. I honestly feel like there's a small inkling. I'm gonna go percentages here. I'm gonna go 60-40 that we lose, but that 40 looks really good. And here's the thing. I'm telling you right now, I have a really good feeling. Kittle's coming, and he's coming to fucking bash that defense, man.
Oh yeah,
I think he wants. Look, man, you remember last year? Was it last year or the year before when he was like, Buddha? And he just screamed Buddha Baker's name.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, I want to smoke. I think Kittle's been away from football, and I think he's primed and ready to make some fucking plays.
I didn't even think about that. That's what I'm saying, though. We have the perfect.
I think he's hungry, man, and he's starving. So let's feed him, and it'll allow us to be able to go ahead and get this W along with running the ball properly. And if you mix the ball up with Elijah Mitchell and Jeff Wilson Jr., if healthy and if he plays, then you have the perfect 1-2 punch. Jeff is a goal line back. Him and Trey Sermon are one and the same as far as like hitting hard with power. The only difference is Jeff has the experience and Trey Sermon does not. But if you mix that up and you run the ball down there because they have a trash run defense, and remember, J.J. Watt isn't there to stop shit. So I'm going to tell you right now, Chandler Jones ain't got no business wanting to go up against Trent Williams. Nobody does. Trent Williams is best left tackle in football, and if anybody out there would like to challenge me, you see my thing right there. You can hit me up on YouTube. You can hit me at SwiftD on Twitter if you want to get the smoke with telling me that there's another left tackle that's better than Trent Williams. Because if you haven't seen the highlights, the man runs people literally into the ground. I've seen him almost bury and puts people in a casket in his blocking schemes.
Okay? He's been doing it since Oklahoma. So
yeah. So I mean, like it is what it is. But I'm 40% confident we win, 60% confident we lose. Either way, tomorrow's going to be I'm going to watch. And I'm going to pray to sweet baby Jesus that I did not waste my fucking day watching this game.
That's the thing is, I had forgotten that Kittle was coming back. So you saying that reminded me that we don't have any excuse to not run the fucking ball.
Yeah, Kittle and Jeff Wilson Jr. have been upgraded to active per ESPN. So
yeah,
I'm trusting ESPN.
So, we should already be able to run the ball well, and now one of our best run blockers are in there. I mean,
yeah, when you put the whole thing is people when you put George Kittle into the game, the run game gets increasingly better.
You want to know why it gets
Charlie
so good?
Warner. I love Ross Dwelly, but Kittle is a different animal when it comes to blocking.
think about how exciting it has to be a running back, and that you're thinking about at a lot of times you're running behind Juszczyk and Kittle at the same time.
Yeah, and Kittle's like having an extra offensive lineman. I tell people this all the time. Remember, the reason he blocks so well is his daddy was an offensive lineman. If you,
And
that's exactly who his father
and
was.
and he's just a corn-fed white boy from Iowa.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah.
That's
That's just you keep
that's
it a
he's a
buck, bro.
farm boy, dude.
I'm gonna tell you that. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I did look. Sometimes that's just what they are. You look at J.J. Watt. I believe J.J. Watt was Wisconsin.
Same
He was
thing
a
from
Badger, was he
Wisconsin,
not?
dude.
Same thing.
Those farm
Corn-fed
boys, dude.
white boy. That big bastard was doing his thing. We
Those
got to shout
those
out
farm boys, dude.
our. Yeah, we do. We got to shout out our guys here. Give me just a hot second here, buddy. I'm going to pull this up. My bad. Okay. So when I gamble, I always look forward. I always look for a way to get an edge. But in my bookie, they double your first deposit. So start with a leg up. Use promo code HIVE. That's HIVE. Sign up now. Claim your first deposit bonus with my bookie and use the extra funds to kickstart your winning season. This weekend, lay the points with Arizona as they continue streaking in San Francisco. And with two top 10 offenses, the Titans and the Rams go toe to toe on Sunday night. You can safely smash the over at my bookie. Don't just take my word for it. Head to my bookie and sign up now using promo code HIGH to get your money doubled and start winning today. Remember, good friends don't let friends win alone. So have your buddies use the referral.
Hey, we still on?
Oh crap! Did I start off? I was
I
trying
think
to read the my bookie joint, man. I was trying to read it. I think my phone probably stopped me when I did it. I don't have it right with me here.
well, it's okay.
Do you have it?
The so wait, the what? Sorry.
The my no, our we gotta shout out my bookie, man. But at the put it like this, I'll give you a brief synopsis. Head over to my bookie to go ahead and make sure that you go there for all of your betting needs. We got the Arizona Cardinals versus San Francisco 49ers. The Cardinals were on a 6-game win streak, and then the Green Bay Packers came into town and smacked them in the face and stopped that win streak. The Titans and the Rams are going at it, and they have two of the top 10 offenses in the league. So definitely when you go over to my bookie .ag, or should I say .com, my bookie will go ahead and double your first deposit up to $1,000. If you use a referral link and get your friends in on the action, which you should do because friends don't let friends gamble alone and or win alone, you go ahead and bring them in, and that allows you to be able to get a 250% bonus on their deposit. And then at the same time, you got to remember, there's one of the biggest fights of the world going on tonight. Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant. That is some hard hitting action right there, baby. You don't want to miss out on it. So if you want to make sure that you gamble with the best gambling site in the world, head over to mybookie.ag, place your bets, win some money, continue to tell your friends, tell everybody that you know. And at the end of the day, take your money, throw it in the air, let it come down and rain on you. And there's no party like raining money on yourself. Go to mybookie.ag.
Alrighty. And then for any of you guys in the Bay Area, the San Jose area, go to bodyworkbyroger.com and book an appointment. They give out some pretty good massages over there. So if you feel like you're a little tense after watching a pretty stressful Niners game, head over to Bodywork by Roger and relax a little bit.
We will all need a massage after these games, man, because if you're a
Dude,
real 49er fan, you really get stressed out with this, man.
bro, I
Bodywork
need
by
a
Roger is going to
therapist
help
after
you
watching
out.
Niners
Hey, look,
game.
man. Hey, look, man, I'm always stressed out watching the Niners game. Unless we're just winning and kicking ass, I'm tense. My back hurts. My neck starts to hurt. And I'm an older dude. I'm 40 people. I'm telling y'all right now, I am 40 years old. I'm keeping it a buck. So if after a 40 game, if we done lost, believe me, I done clenched, I done yelled, and I done pulled muscles I shouldn't be pulling no more in my age. So I definitely will have to go to Bodywork by Roger to go ahead and get me some calming massage and get the little crazy music going and be able to relax and recover. But that's my
Hey,
dog right there, Lefty. I am Niner Gang Podcast. He is the man. I am just the man beside the man because we think very
you're the
much
man too,
alike.
bro.
Yeah, we are so sorry that we didn't have B Dubs in the building to go ahead and join us, but he kept control of things. You got to remember, everything you see, that was him. So B Dubs is here with us in spirit. He's always, what I'm saying, hanging with us. And I appreciate the Forever Faithful podcast for allowing me to come in and go ahead and host, along with my boy Christian. And believe you me, at the end of the day, we are all faithful. We all want to win, and we all want to make sure that at the end of the day, we continue to get these W's to at least get in the playoffs. If we can pull off, a Giants where we sneak into the playoffs with a real crappy record and pull off a W in the Super Bowl, I'm with it. I just would rather Trey Lance win the Super Bowl than Jimmy Garoppolo, because if Jimmy wins, then they're going to try to keep him here, and I don't need that.
No, that's
But
not what they want. They're still going to trade him
final
for he wins, we get a
final
first round
thoughts from
pick.
you. Exactly. Final thoughts from you, Lefty. What you got, baby? What's going on? Talk to me.
I don't know. I mean, I want to see the run game working, and I want to see us being able to run in between the tackles along with running outside. That's just what I want. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see the ball taken out of Jimmy's hands as much as possible, and we just keep running the ball. And I want to see the rest of the receivers get more involved than just Debo all the time. So I'm excited to watch a game. I'm excited for every game, even though it freaking almost gives me a heart attack every single game. I'm
Exactly.
excited. I definitely I hate the wait, especially Saturday nights, Sunday mornings. I hate sitting there waiting for the game to start. Um,
Up
I'm
early,
looking.
man. You're tense. You're thinking. You're like, oh,
Oh, I
God, what am
know.
I gonna do? Why is that starting yet? Just start the game already,
That,
so I don't go insane.
I might be one of the few people that hate Sunday night football when my team's playing. I hate
Yeah,
waiting that
yeah.
long.
It's stressful, man. It's very stressful. The only reason I like it is strictly based on the fact that I can watch all the other teams play and see how my fantasy is doing. That's the only reason that I care for it. Is because then by then, hopefully, I have already won my fantasy, and the people
Yeah,
that we have playing are just a bonus. Because I have
yeah.
Debo Samuel in both of my fantasy leagues, and he's been doing very well. But my final thoughts simply are: Go Niners, give the fans a home win, and you will get off your back. You give us a home loss, especially against Colt McCoy, we're gonna rip you a brand new one. You think what Kyle and Jimmy had on the sidelines, or what Kyle and Brandon Ayuk had, as far as a back and forth spat was anything? You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. I am Dion, aka Niner Gang Podcast. That's my boy Christian, aka Lefty. Be out this joint, baby.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.